Hi guys, it's Mrs. Parrish. Tonight we're going to be talking about properties of matter, specifically physical and chemical properties of matter. This is all kind of a review from elementary school, 5th and 6th grade, so it's just a little bit to refresh your memory. So here we go. Matter is anything that has mass and takes up space. All matter that we have is composed of atoms and have physical and chemical properties. Here's our definitions of physical properties and chemical properties. For most of you, you wrote these down on the board in your science class, pre-P. You may or may not have, so go ahead and write them down if you haven't already. Physical properties are descriptions of matter using the 5 senses. They include color, size, texture, density, state of matter. And then for our chemical unit, we'll also be looking at luster, malleability, and ductility. And again, we're looking at, don't forget, states of matter, solid, liquids, and gases. That's one of our major physical properties. Our chemical properties, we're going to be looking at characteristics that describe how substances react with other substances. Examples include reactivity, sensitivity to light, toxicity, inflammability. And also for our chemistry unit, we're going to be looking at oxidation, rusting, and tarnishing. First physical property we want to discuss is density, which is the amount of mass per unit volume. We've been working on some density problems, working on manipulating those formulas and figuring out how to use them. Our formula is density is equal to mass divided by volume. What I want to talk about today is how you measure those things to get to density. First of all, we're going to talk about mass. And in order to measure mass, all you're going to do is put your item, whatever you're going to be measuring, on a scale. And on that scale, it's going to be measured in the units of grams. To measure a volume of a liquid, all you got to do is get out your little handy-dandy graduated cylinder and read the meniscus. So the meniscus, again, is that curved line, and you need to make sure that you read it from the bottom of that curved line. Now there's several ways of finding volume. It depends on what kind of object you have. So we're going to talk first about finding the volume of a regular solid. And what that means is it's just a cube. So to find the volume of a regular solid, you take the length times the width times the height. And typically those measurements are going to be done in centimeters cubed. That'll be your unit of measure. Now, if we have an irregular solid, that means something with no straight lines, like a rock or a marble or something like that, we're going to do what's called water displacement. And what you do is you take your graduated cylinder, you add a volume of water, drop your object in, and then measure how much it is after you drop the object in, subtract the two numbers, and you're going to get your volume in milliliters. And the milliliters is equal to centimeters cubed. So those are both volume units of measure. Another physical property that we want to look at, and this is really going to go with our chemistry unit when we start looking at the periodic table, is malleability. What malleability is, it's the ability to pound something into flat sheets. So if you take a metal and you can pound it into a sheet, or if you can bend it into some kind of object, or you can pound it on like an anvil, that is malleability. The next one is ductility. If a metal is ductile, then you can pull it and stretch it until it becomes a wire. And the last one we're going to look at is luster. And what luster is something that's shiny. And this has to do with the metal as well. So anything that's shiny in the metal is going to have luster. Here's some of our examples of chemical properties. The first one is flammability. It's ability to catch on fire. The next one we're going to look at is oxidation. And oxidation includes things like rust and tarnishing. Here you see some rust going on the can. Oxidation happens when you cut an apple and it turns brown. And over here you're showing tarnish. Metals that you have turn dark, that would be tarnishing. And the last one is toxicity. That just means something that's poisonous. That's all I have for this evening. Have a good one.